Gary and I both said this. In 43 games, he had 9 sacks. He had 19.5 tackles for losses. My problem with the pick, and by the way, I endorsed the pick. I wanted that pick. I'm a favor of that pick. But do you think the 11th or 12th pick in the NFL draft should only be a first and second down guy? Can Tracy Rocker, the D-line coach, turn him into a pass rusher?
Sports Take, welcome back in, everybody. Rob Ellis, Barrett Brooks, Derek Gunn, JAKIB Media YouTube Network, and man, can't wait to talk to our next guest, and he has been holding it down.
Oh
man, Media YouTube family. Dan Sileo, the National Football Show, every day 3 to 6, part of one of, if not the greatest defensive line in the history of college football.
Oh my
Dan,
goodness!
what's up, my man? How you
Hey
doing?
man, thank you so much for having me. And first off and foremost, Cinco de Mayo birthday.
Yes,
dude, I am having 3 margaritas in your honor. Maybe
appreciate it.
During the show.
You know what? Hey, I was just about to say that I might do my show tonight. I might have me a couple before I even get on the show tonight.
Yes.
You know.
Oh yeah, a little tipsy. I'm not going like that. Hey man, this is all in honor of Barrett, man. Congratulations. If I'm a little bit pissed right now, it's all because of Barrett.
Love it.
Hey Dan, earlier in the show, when Rob announced that you were coming on today, I said, you know, I know Barrett has issues. I know Rob has issues. I know I have the issues, but Dan Sileo definitely has issues. That man needs to be checked. He needs to be checked.
You know, D-Gun, and I heard Rob even say it, and I'm just thinking that you two guys, being the journalists that you are, that, wow, that's such an epiphany. I can't believe that you guys came up with that I need help. Really? This just in.
What was your first clue, Derek? What was your first clue? First of all, I love the lid, by the way.
Thank you, man.
Jerome props right there.
Yeah.
I get one every year, still to this day, from the guys in Brooksville and from Tim Jenkins, who was Jerome's best friend. Reggie used to go down there. Seth still goes down there to the Jerome Brown Youth Foundation, the facilities down there. We used to go down there and do all these camps for JB. And he was my best friend, Rob, when I was at the University of Miami. And, you know, Keith Byers and Keith Jackson are going to join me later on. Still, I think either today or tomorrow. And I still stay in touch with them dudes. And I'm so glad to have connected with Seth, because those guys were thick as thieves when they were with Gang Green. And Jerome, to this day, I miss him a lot. I think about him a lot. And truly, I say this to you, Rob. If there was a Charles Barkley football version,
yes,
Jerome would have been exactly that on the football side, because
I wish I would have met him, man.
He had.
He was the best. A Hall of Fame lock as a player, but as
oh
a human,
God, yes,
the guy was a trip. I mean, he was as tough as nails. He played games where he had one arm literally in a sling, and he's still taking dudes on. He would not take a game off. He was a badass extraordinaire.
That, you know what, guys, I would say this to you. You guys covered the team. I used to do it from 30,000 feet. I'm more looking them in the eye now. But, man, that Gang Green defense and that era, to me, even with the Donovan McNabb era and even what we've seen here with Doug Peterson as of late, man, that's the most revered time in Eagle football, was that era there, because of the personalities that were there. The head coach was a freak show. The defense was insane. Randall was awesome to watch. He hated everybody. I don't know how you got an interview out of him, D-Gun, because that guy, he's a little better today, and I think he embraces who he is as an Eagle a lot more than he did when he was an Eagle. But, man, those guys off that team are still revered to this day.
Yeah, the 91 team across the board, #1 in every category, against the run, against the pass, points allowed. I mean, that team won 10 games, didn't make the playoffs. Unfortunately, Randall got hurt. It was a game changer, but that team was just unreal.
Hey,
unreal.
Rob, let me ask you this, man. Yeah. Now, tell me who I am. I'm gonna do a little charades with you guys. Hey, man, trust the process. Hey, I got you. I got you a Super Bowl before. Don't worry about it, Angie. I got you.
That's your Howie. It's your Howie, man.
Hey, man, I've never seen a guy take more May lip victory laps in my life. I mean, this guy's walking around he's like on Broad Street going, I gotcha. Hey, man, process.
Hey, Dan, you know why? You know why, right? He just got that 3-year contract extension, so he's living large now.
Hey, D-Gun, I gotcha. I heard that on with Angelo. And
WIP, yeah.
I'm going like, hang on. I mean, like, whoa, man. You know, we're not going to talk about Super Bowls in May. However,
oh my goodness.
See what I dealt with for about 2 months. Bro, it was an adventure going on every single day, man. You know, we tried to get Howie on and Nick Sirianni on, but
oh no, I started getting Bob. Get this. So now here's what's happening at the NovaCare Center. I get emails and text messages from Bob Lang. How you liking us now? And I'm going, whoa, what do you mean? It's May. Don't worry, guys. Rent is due in September.
Wait, you ticked off the Eagles PR staff to the point they're now sending you emails and texts?
Xander, will you please confirm or deny in the chat box that Sills is getting text messages from Sirianni, Bob Lang, who else? Oh,
Bob Lane's a great guy, man.
Yeah, Bob Lane's good people, man.
How do you piss Bob Lane off, man? Bob is cool, man.
We're talking about some of the Eagles PR people for people who may not know these names. Yeah.
So why in the world would I ever put Howie on? I didn't ask for Howie. I asked for Nick because he goes, well, you've been critical of him. I go, well, geez, man. Okay, so if you tick Howie off the whole room, hey, after Casey Waddell getting fired, I get it now.
What do you make of that? I mean,
wow.
Because look, it's interesting because Andy's still here. We all think he may get the Pittsburgh job, and I know you had Kevin Colbert on and you talked to him about it, and he seemed to give him a really ringing endorsement, but it feels a little premature. It seems like a strange move. What do you think's going on?
How about this though, man? I mean, seriously, all kidding aside here. So he's part of the player personnel directors department. His brother runs it. How do you guys here? Let me ask you, how do you guys think they've done the last 2 years in the draft?
Yeah. That's the weird timing part of this. They killed it last year, and this appears to be a really good one too.
So what's up then, man? I mean,
unless he's got something else.
And get this, it's not an expiring contract. They're being reported by the Inquirer that they fired his ass.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. Because sometimes these guys are on 1-year contracts, these scouting guys that are in and underneath the player personnel guys, because they get better gigs or they want to go somewhere. They're kind of like gypsies, like assistant coaches also. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute here. They've really done a nice job the last 2 years. You know, hey, correct me if I'm wrong here. Tell me if I'm over the rails here on this. This guy, Howie Roseman, when they were passing out the Super Bowl rings, they should have just put Howie's name on it and no one else's name on it, because he fires Doug Peterson. And I read in the Inquirer, maybe I read it wrong. Andy was on shaky ground too. And I'm going, wait a minute here. I thought the scouting department, if anything, has done a really nice job the last 2 years. It's just bizarre to me to see that, especially now after the draft. And like you said, Kevin Colbert gave him an endorsement, and the Rooneys love him because he interned for Tom Donahue, who was the former general manager of the place. I mean, the Rooneys know him very well. I think he's a very good talent scout evaluator. And if you're Howie, why aren't you happy? Joe Douglas killed it. I mean, Andrew Berry's killing it. I mean, to me, it just didn't make a lot of sense. And that's kind of yesterday where we went with it.
It's just it's just crazy to me, you know, that no matter how this Eagles, you know, the fan base usually doesn't dictate what players they draft. In the last 2 years, they've listened, and they've went out and gotten players specifically that the fans want. Now, is that great GMing, or is it just a matter of fact that, all right, they just the best guy that they picked at that time, you know?
Hey, Barrett, I don't think you're going to go wrong when you take a Georgia or Alabama or
right, okay,
Ohio State kid.
That's right.
You know why? It's not just the fact that they're brilliant, players and athletes, but they're getting the best coaching in the country because that's where the best assistant coaches are at these programs now. However, I was talking to Gary Cobb the other day, and Gary and I both said this. In 43 games, he had 9 sacks. He had 19 and a half tackles for losses. My problem with the pick, and by the way, I endorsed the pick. I wanted that pick. I'm a favor of that pick. But do you think the 11th or 12th pick in the NFL draft should only be a first and second down guy? Can Tracy Rocker, the D-line coach, turn him into a pass rusher? I think he's got to be 330, not 350, because he's out of shape. He was out of shape for the national title game, was in great shape, great shape for the national title game, out of shape for the SEC title game, because I thought they killed him in that game. The national title game, he was a factor. So to me, guys, I think the low bar for him is Vince Wilfork. Now, I say this to you. If he's Vince Wilfork and the Eagles have the number 1 run-stopping defense and the number 1 rush attack, that keeps you in every single football game that you're going to play every single game in. You're going to be in every game with that. I'm okay with him being Wilfork. He won 3 Super Bowl rings. He was a factor on that team. But for the 11th or 12th pick, do you really want that guy being taken off on third down because he's not really that great of a pass rusher? So, I mean, he's not exhibited that at Georgia. The other guy, now he played with great players too that were relied more on getting to the ball. Dean and Walker and Wyatt, those guys were spectacular to play for. However, it's just something to keep an eye on. What kind of pass rusher? If he turns out to be Rob Fletcher Cox,
oh God,
then they got to steal at that pick.
Amen.
Well, I think they changed. I think he's going to be a philosophy player. I think their philosophy was last year they had too many.
He's reading Socrates, Barrett?
Right. Well, I think that
he's getting deep on his birthday.
Dude, I thought that was a cannoli. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But I think their philosophy was, all right, there were too many times where they went 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1. The defenses, all these 3rd and shorts. And when you have those type of situations, their playbook is this big. But on that 1st and 2nd down, they couldn't stop anybody. So they want to put somebody in the middle. Then now they might have run a 30 front, a true nose. And I truly believe they think that he could stop the bleeding as far as that run and make them more, then they can get into their NASCAR on 3rd down.
Yeah, but Barrett, they don't have the linebackers for 34, man. You've got to have 4 ballers back there. And I think the kid Dean, they got 1 baller there. So to me, I think they're going to be more in a forefront because they're going to be able to rotate those guys more. If they had better linebackers, I would agree with that. But to me, man, their linebacking core and they're strong and free and CB2 is still an issue on that football team.
Well, then this is the best selection of linebackers they've had since they had Trotton and Emmons and all those guys.
Yeah,
this is the best they've had. They went out and got Kazir White. They got Riddick, Hassan
Reddick. Yeah.
To me, those 3 alone, and then they love the kid. What's his name? Taylor
Edwards.
And Devion Taylor.
Devion Taylor,
who they drafted 3 years ago. Yeah.
They love him also.
So you think they're going to stand up? You think they're going to stand up Reddick more and not put his hand in the dirt?
No, I think he's going to be in a 30 front linebacker because they went out and got a guy from the Kansas football. Kansas.
He's not
actually
he's a little short, but I saw him play, Barrett. He's not bad. I know you hate the kid from Kansas, but no.
I did a game. I definitely did a game. I did their first game last year. I called their first game last year. But he was
situationally on 3rd down and long. I think he could be something for them.
But he was just a rush in. He didn't really.
I know he's not. I'd run at him like he won't see him on 1st and 2nd down. That dude don't have enough rocks in his pocket to keep the weight down there. You know what I mean?
Hey, Dan, what do you think about what happened to Kobe Dean? There's something real shady about this. This kid said he was never told he needed surgery, and all of these teams backed off on this kid when every pre-draft projection had him listed as a top 20 pick, and all of a sudden he slips to the 3rd round.
Man,
something's not right.
D-Gun, you see this stuff all the time. Agents go out there and they spread misinformation. People like Drew Rosenhaus and all these guys are trying to push their dudes because they got better connections into the coaching staffs. A kid like this playing on a great football team. How many times have we seen this before where you play on a great team, you get knocked down in thought processes on what your impact is on that team, because you look at the front four. They had 5 guys go off that Georgia team in the first round. It's almost like when you're picking a Hall of Famer. Jerry Kramer can't be a Hall of Famer. Every Packer can't be a first rounder or a Hall of Famer. So you kind of fall into that. To go down to the 3rd round, in my opinion, I think the Eagles, they got 2 first rounders on 2 separate days.
Yep.
Okay? I think this kid here, now, man, you got 700 pounds in front of you. Man, that kid should never get touched. I mean, you're talking about it, dude. And the rotation. To me, he's gonna be a player. But here, guys, my issue again is also on the rotation. So you got a guy making $12.7 million in Javon Hargrave. You got another guy making $14.4. Then you got a guy on a rookie contract. So what's the rotation? You really think Jordan Davis is going to start, and Howie's going to put a guy making $13 million on the bench?
No.
I don't know. I'm just saying, man, look, 14 here, 12 here. You got about $30 million in D tackles in the triangle here. Man, what are you going to do with that here, man? I mean, Davis is not going to start, guys.
Nope.
He's not going to start, but it'll be a great rotation, and I hope they put him in situationally where they give him a chance to succeed. Try him at 3rd down. He can't play the 5 technique because he's too heavy and too big. He won't be able to set the edge, so you're not going to be able to slide him up and down the defensive line. But that's going to be something to keep an eye on too, how Jonathan Gannon uses him, because, dude, you're not going to sit 2 guys making nearly $13 million, $14 million a year. You're just not.
That's $30 million just sitting on the bench.
No way. So what? You're going to put Hargrave on the bench there, making 12-7?
Right.
or even see, to me, hey, Barrett, Fletcher Cox is not a 14-4 guy, man. He's just not. And that's why it's a 1-year deal. So maybe this is like the retirement fund that the Eagles are giving him. Here you go here. And then he moves on. Maybe you trade him. I'll tell you, Rob, what I would think. If he's productive and he's playing well, you get closer to the trading deadline, you send him to a contending football team.
Dan, that makes a lot of sense.
A 3rd-round draft choice.
And we heard a lot of that last year, Dan. It almost went down last year, and I think he would have been on board. Let's jump to the other side. How much does A.J. Brown change this dynamic here of a team that was, let's face it, I mean, they got by because they could run the ball, but it was not what you would call a dynamic offense by any stretch.
Man, I'll tell you, I'm having Blaine Bishop on today. He was a 4-time Pro Bowler. He's part of the broadcast team for the Titans, and he just loves this kid. What I love about him, Barrett and I were talking about this a couple weeks back. There's certain wide receivers, and I said this last year about Devontae Smith, and people got on my ass about it. They go, what do you make of the pick of Devontae Smith? I go, it's horrible. And they go, why? You don't like the player? I go, no, he doesn't fit. He's more of a speed guy. He's a route runner. He's not going to knock guys out in the run game. This is a predominantly run-style football team. You need to put a guy on that field like a Deebo Samuel, a Michael Irvin, somebody that's physical in the run game that's going to put their bonnet on a free safety or strong safety. That guy was – and he comes, Rob, from a running attack with Derrick Henry. He comes out of a running attack into a running attack. Barrett sent me some film on him breaking tackles. You need physical wideouts in a style like this. Now, do I think they back off the running of 35 times a game? I do. I hope they're more efficient at 4.5 per carry instead of running the ball 38 times. That means there's going to be more opportunities for passing. To me, I think the influence on Devontae will be great. The influence on Quez could take the top off it. It opens it up. But, Rob, here's something else. They need to get that screen game going to help play action pass. They had no screen game this past season. He couldn't get the ball to him for whatever reason. AJ's influence, studying, watching him. I talked to Barrett about this. When you're a rookie or a young player, you find a guy who knows how to be a pro and you gravitate to that guy and you watch his preparation.
Yep.
You watch what he does every single day to make yourself a better football player. And that's the impact I think he has. And you can't say this any longer. Jalen is now being given the same opportunity as Tagovailoa in Miami to succeed here. If he doesn't do it in 2022, give the keys to someone else.
Yep. Well said, Gunnar.
How do you see Jalen Hurts? Do you think he can handle the task ahead?
Here, I think Jalen Hurts is going to improve, but will it be enough of an improvement for them to go like this? He's the guy. In 3 months ago, I saw him not find single coverage in the Buck game. That was a quarter and a half where Troy Aikman was screaming, throw the ball, just 5 yards. Throw the ball, get it. He couldn't find it. Now, he's been working. And watch this. And I hear you guys saying this, and I hear everyone saying this. He works hard, so he's smart, so he's talented. So welcome to the NFL. It's like thanking me for not robbing a bank. You're here, kid, because of some of those intangibles. So don't give me credit or give a kid credit for doing what's expected. Well, he's the first guy in, last guy out. Great. Really? Well, hey, what do you want? Okay, a medal? I mean, dude, this is what the position demands. So to me, here, how about this? I think there's one line you can always use, D-gun on him. If his passing ability can match his running ability, you have something. But until that time and until that moment, you're not going to win with that style. And I mean this. You're going to win, but you're not going to contend. There's a difference between competing and contending. The Eagles, as of right now, are going to compete every single time they step on the field. Are they going to contend against the Bucks, the Rams, the Packers, the 49ers? Yet to be determined.
Yeah, how about the coach, Dan? Last year he went a long way of kind of steering the ship in the right direction and did what he had to do to survive. It was kind of an old school approach offensively, but now kind of the same thing. Look, they went out, they made some moves. They got him some linebackers. They got him, AJ Brown, etc. Is he in a similar boat to Hurts? Like, hey, show me here.
Yeah, well, let me put the poppy seeds here, and let me get to you here, Rob, and, we'll make sure that we flower up the offense and, hey, all the stuff with the Kobe. I'm by the way, I should really like the Kobayashi hot dog eating films and all, so I'm all over the Kobayashi eating ones, but I think he comes out of that school where Nick is going to be a dude that learned from Frank Reich. See, Frank Reich is a guy that knows how to tailor an offense around skilled people, not coming in with an offensive game plan like John Gruden that goes, run this offense because this is my offense here, and trying to sometimes put a square peg in a round hole. I think Sirianni is that kind of guy that knows how to tailor it, and they're going to be able to tailor a little bit more. We're going to learn, Rob. It's a great point because we're going to learn a lot more about Nick Sirianni over this next year too as well. Remember, Matt Nagy won the NFL Coach of the Year award a couple years ago and was blown out. How many times did Ray Rhodes win the NFL Coach of the Year award with the Eagles, and he ended up getting blown out? So coaches and quarterbacks are only as good as the last game and series and season that they play, in my opinion.
At the end of the day, man, I like the direction they're going in. I've been blown away with a bunch of September Super Bowls. I mean, it just kills me. That,
oh no, you mean the May Super Bowl, dog?
Oh yeah,
I'm ready for the parade. I was like, I gotcha. I'm like, oh, really? Okay, hey man, dude, Reds do come up September, man.
I know, but there's still so many glaring holes in the secondary. I'm trying to figure out how they're going to approach this. They only have $11 million left in the cap, and they got to pay these. They got to pay these rookies that. I mean, what direction can they go as far as bringing in, some help in the secondary? Are they going to go with the guys they have right now?
Hey, so wait a minute. You're concerned still, like Seth is, on playing that stupid zone coverage where every quarterback comes in with an 80% completion percentage and everyone looks like a Hall of Famer, man. Hey, if you're coming off a really crappy game the week before, you want to play against the Eagles secondary, dog. Because they'll make you look like you're Joe Montana or Tom Brady. I mean it, no doubt. Dude, they need – now with this front seven and with the depth that they have, get up on these dudes, man. Press coverage these guys. Let's test it, man. Jimmy Johnson used to tell me this all the time. Zone coverage is a slow death. You bleed slowly. And press coverage, you bleed quickly. And so what they're doing right now, if you can't cover them, they're trying to keep everything underneath. Let's keep everything here. Let's see if these quarterbacks can make a mistake or not make a mistake, get out of patience. Look at what Andy Reid did to them last year. Andy Reid ran the ball for 200 yards. When is the last time Andy Reid had a 200-yard rushing game? Because they knew they were playing that man coverage out there, and all they did was run the ball on them. They didn't even really throw the ball against them.
Hey, Big Sales, I love following you on Twitter, man. And you put something out there yesterday pertaining to Jerry Jones. And
What's he doing on Hine Street?
And I'm thinking, Dan Sileo is not allowed.
What's Hine Street?
Yeah, tell people what Hine Street is, Dan.
He's not allowed in the city of Dallas or Fort Worth anymore.
Hey, all I know is this, man. If you're out at 9 o'clock on Hine Street, hey, this is just what I was told, Rob, when I was there.
Okay.
I don't know anything about. Okay, you know, a couple of my pimp friends said, "What's he doing there at 9 o'clock at night?"
Do we have a tweet?
There and he gets into a car wreck at Hines Avenue. I'm like,
Xander, put that tweet up if we have it, man.
All the strip clubs are there, man.
Oh, is that what that is? There? Okay.
Look at this tweet. I want to see this tweet here. Look at this.
Wow.
Yeah. This dude's on Harry Hines, man. What you doing out there? Yeah. Hey, all the prostitute witnesses seem to say he's okay. Yeah, no, it's all good, man. I was like, damn,
Jerry's such an upstanding citizen, you know?
You're wrong for
Jones
that,
used
man.
to just tell me things. I don't know. I just, I never experienced anything, of course.
I hear you, man. All right, so what do we have coming up
by
today?
By the way, I heard you say something, Rob.
Yeah.
I would like for you to know I've been married 33 years.
Right.
Now, my wife tolerates me in a way where I stay in one side of the house and she stays in the other side of the house because I think she can only take me, let's see, she probably can only take about 6 hours of Big Sills before the whole thing goes, here, what's for dinner, honey? Whatever I'm cooking. Okay. And okay. Yeah. So, I know my place.
Sounds like my house. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm completely, I've gone from being Big Sills to like little Sills now when I'm with my wife. So yeah.
That's nice, man. Hey, as long as you know how it works, as long as that's it. That's all you need to do.
33 years, man. I don't know how it's happened. I mean, I just, I met her when I was in Dallas. And so, like, she's just smoking chick. She's like, man, she walks in and I go, hey, how you doing? I'm Dallas Cowboy. She goes, guys were 4-12. You suck. Okay. And I go like this. I'm going to marry her.
Yep. Right? She's the one. She's the one. Yeah, that's a keeper right there, man. That's awesome.
You know what? And plus, by the way, you got rid of Tom Landry. Great. I'm a Landry guy. I know you played for that dude, Jimmy. Jesus.
Wow. She hit you with that too?
She can't stand Jimmy Johnson because of the firing of, Jimmy's like one of my tightest friends of all time. And she's a Tom Landry person because she's from Dallas. Yeah.
You should wear a fedora around the house. That might help you.
My grandfather went like this. God, I love Tom Landry. Then he goes, Tom Landry's got that squeaky voice. Holy cow, what kind of guy is that? What kind of man is that? He's got a squeaky voice like that? That's how my house was, Rob.
I got you. Oh, man. All right, 1 o'clock today, or 3 o'clock today. Don't move. Dan Sileo's got you. It's going to be a lot of fun, as always, the National Football Show. Dan, appreciate it, man.
Big sales, baby.
I'm going to drink a shot of tequila in your honor a little bit later today.
There you go.
Okay, Cinco de Mayo B-Day.
Appreciate
by the way, Mrs. Brooks, love you too, man. Thank you guys very much.
Yeah, man.
Sills, you're the best, man. Appreciate it. Wow. That's like catch your breath time, man, after Dan.
Right.
That's like a storm just blew in, man.
You can't just take that too lightly. You got to walk that in, man. You got to walk him in, man. Pull him in gently, you know what I'm saying? You can't let him come up fired up already, you know what I'm saying?
Oh.
He gets fired up too quick.
Yeah, he was shot out of a cannon. We love it. We love the juice, man. Beautiful. All right, let's come back, guys. We'll continue to talk some Sixers, certainly Eagles as well. We'll mix in some Phillies who, guess what? Stop me if you've heard this before. They lost last night. Yes.
No.
I know. It's shocking. It really is shocking. All right. For Barrett, the birthday boy, Derek, I'm Rob. Don't go anywhere. We got you till 3. We are Sports Take, JAKIB Media, YouTube Network. Let me tell you about my friends at Pro Action Restoration. If you're a home or business owner, you experience that pain, that inconvenience of whether it's water, whether it's fire, whether it's mold issues to your property, your house, whatever. You know how difficult that can be. I know how difficult it can be. I went through it at my place. I went through it at my parents' house. But Pro Action is there. They're on call 24/7 to assist you. As I mentioned, I went through it. Their crew came out to my parents' house. They cleaned everything up. They took care of them. They did it in a professional way, and the price was very, very reasonable. They're licensed. They're bonded. They're fully insured. They're serving the tri-state area for more than 2 decades. Pro Action will work in conjunction with your insurance company, so we know how big that can be as well. Again, water, fire, mold remediation, whatever the case may be, they can handle it. Trust me when I tell you this. Give them a call at 610-623-3760, 610-623-3760, or just reach out to them at proactionrestoration.com.